Hi Cubs, and welcome back to another Market Watch. It's our weekly Market Watch. We're gonna start this Market Watch with just reviewing some of the things that we saw before in the last two previous videos. Make sure to leave a like if you like these kind of videos, comment if you see something wrong or you want to know more in the next Market Watch, and subscribe so I can bring you more Digimon content. It's gonna be fun. Alright, let's talk about Tsunorizumon. We talked about Tsunorizumon before. It's only seen a very slight rise, even despite the Ultimate Cup. I find that this Market Watch is very much stagnant. We're just in a weird phase in between sets. So the market is in this weird place where it will go up, down, but now it's just reaching a bit of a stalemate. So it's going to be an interesting one. Let's go through it. Alright, next one we're going to go and highlight over is the Gallantmon. I feel like a lot of people have been focusing on the Gallantmon in the Beelzemon advanced deck, and I don't know, it's like a voice in the back of my head that's always like, don't buy the pre-sales, and I always usually agree with it, so I think you should stick with it. And I find the store championship, if you want that extra Riz for BT12, has gone really down. I wouldn't recommend selling at this time because it's literally gone from around $15 to $8, but if you do want to get yourselves a hand on a nice Gallantmon that can warp, is really, really good. Speaking of some Gallantmon slides, let's talk about Gallantmon. I did say with the Crimson Road, it's better that you start to get your pieces now, and we're just seeing a constant rise, and this will rise so much with the upcoming BT12. I feel like Gallantmon has been topping in a lot of Ultimate Cups. I've been trying to learn the deck myself, even though for some reason, I don't know, I'm not good with OTK decks. But I would recommend, if you haven't got your pieces already, you should definitely get it now. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think it's just going to increase as soon as we get into April. If you're wanting to sell it, just wait a little bit. Let's talk about Beelstarmon. Yeah, not Mommy Mon. She's getting a bit of a stagnant too, because everyone's been focusing so much on Beelzemon. I'm not going to review Beelzemon in this Market Watch because it's just been exploding. It'll continue to explode in its official release this week. But Beelstarmon, definitely, I would say back off from this card. When BT12 hits, it'll go down. So I think that's a good time to strike because EX4 is when the support rolls in, I believe. Rina Shinomiya, the waifu tax, is interesting place right now. She's been going through a lot of up and downs and is still stagnant because I think people are unsure how much the X antibody is going to influence the set. It's a very powerful card and it'll do so much for this set. But now with Blackwell Greymon slightly kind of slowed down, everyone is starting to look at All Force a little bit more. And I think it's also just the Tame art is just wonderful, But I think if you want to sell some pieces, I would wait even more for BT12 so it could just rise a bit more because people might want more All Force pieces. But we've had a restriction list. It's not gonna be another one for a while, so see how you feel about it. But I would say wait if you're gonna sell it. Machinedramon. Interesting. So Machinedramon didn't really do that much for the Ultimate Cups around the world. But it's still a very strong deck, and it's all gonna get even stronger BT12. It's starting to rise a little bit more. I think people are starting to have more recognition for this card. Even though you don't really need it as much, I think it's better to get it right now while it's $20, rather than wait for BT12. Change your mind, Machinedramon, and the Chaosdramon Hex antibody just makes this card explode. And also, Analog Man has gone down a bit, which for some reason I don't know why, it's such a cracked card. But I think it's always best just to get your playsets now. It's like 30 cents. Let's talk about Ancient Greymon for a second. Now we're going to be getting Red Hybrid next set on BT12, and it's mostly going to be like for Emperor Greymon support. But Ancient Greymon OTK, I tried to make my own deck of this, it didn't work out, but someone almost got undefeated at our locals with it. He destroyed everyone. I was playing Mastermon, and of course, with the Aldemon Inheritable where you can't actually check any options, he just blitzed through. It was an amazing game. He said some words about me, so I was good. He lost his other game. But, the Ancient Greymon is wonderful support. I think it's just really, really good card. I've been reading up into the Emperor Greymon. I can't really envision it too much in the deck, but wait for the tier list stream. The tier list video. I came off of stream, so I'm still thinking of streams. So I think we have to keep an eye on this card. I think it's pretty cheap in considering it, so it depends on how you're going to build your decks, but if you feel like a one-off Ancient Greymon, I think would be good. If it's an AA, even better, so why not take it while it's popular. This is kind of a meme. If you know, you know. But anyway, Alpha's Digimon alternate art. has just gone down. It's gone down. Can you believe it? From $70 straight up to $25, and it's just been stagnant on that place. I wouldn't sell right now, but I would buy in case you want some really nice alt arts. Because BT11 sets beautiful art. You could fight me for that. But I think it's pretty good in terms of if you want to get all your pieces. The normal art is probably selling for a few bucks, so I think grab these while you can. Now, everyone seems to sleep the fact that we're actually getting Mervamon support in BT12. Ever since the Gallantmon Cup, now that she's not really as priced, she's just been going down, down, down in price. So if you want to get your alt art pieces, it might be some time. I would wait just a little bit more up until straight up to the end of March and just see how you go from there. But Mervamon is getting support, and it just means, like, I know everyone's focusing on Shine Greymon getting 3 sets of support, and that's true, but I feel like there's a purple supremacy climbing up with Mervamon support, Bagra Army support, Belphamon, I Sleep mode. So I think it's good to keep an eye on purple if you want to get your purple pieces in, and of course Gallantmon as well. So Shoutmon Cross 5, we're going to be getting Shoutmon Cross 7 Superior mode, and I'm actually surprised with this card. It has kind of just risen just a little bit. It's not too crazy. Shoutmon Cross Superior mode apparently is going to be very good. Cross 7 helped the deck a lot with the new triple white tamer, and I think it's just kind of good to have these cards just in case, because I feel like Shoutmon was really hyped. Blackwall Greymon has only slowed down a little bit because now there's Deltamon promo out and about. But I feel like it might be good to pick up your pieces in case you're wondering it. Not so good to sell your pieces. Now, Hiro Manakawa. A lot of people was looking at this card at one point, but as you can see, it like dipped off the face of the earth, had a peak, and then went down again. I feel like this card is always going to be needed. You should at least have 1 or 2 in your collection, because we don't really know exactly with Rising Wind what's going to happen. I've seen it in Japan that not many people have been able to play Rising Wind exactly. It's not always the craziest set, but it's still pretty good. And I find like if you can get Hiro Manakawa in terms of the promo, it's always good. I actually like the regular card a lot more because it is a memory tamer, but this one can be pretty good if it's especially just the Gallantmon deck, and you're going to need a lot of heroes anyway. Remember this card. Remember this card. I hope you got your pieces when you did, because it was $4 at one point. And now that the restriction list wasn't a list, it was just a card, everyone's starting to recognize Melga again. Now Melga hasn't made any moves, and it's going to be very hard for Melga, I feel like, in the upcoming sets. That could just be me. There is another set coming out, but we don't know what's going to happen with Melga in the next 3 sets, so it depends. If you've gotten your pieces, you want to sell them, by all means, you could probably sell them. I bought my pieces when they were like $6 each, so I'm getting almost like a playset already. But it depends on what you feel about this card. I just feel like Melga is not going to be as gas, but I still think it's a really good deck. So maybe you should try and consider it if you haven't got your pieces already. If you really want to play this deck, get it now, because the minimum I've always seen of this card has been around the $20 mark. And I think 50% off is always good. In terms of the sale history, people are starting to buy out just because they're like, oh no, it's not restricted. Okay, I guess I could buy the cards. Everyone was waiting for that list to hit. Since it wasn't that much of a list, this is what we got. Now you're probably wondering, why would you even highlight this card? Like, Sakuyamon doesn't really have a burst mode. It wasn't bursting really that much at all. But I know how much this card was loved by everyone. I had a friend of mine that actually bought this card for, I think it was $80? $80 for one card. Yeah, and now look how much it is. Support is coming in EX4 though. That's why now we're starting to see a bit of a rise, a little bit of a kick. Sakuyamon Maid mode, however, is still pretty expensive, but I would recommend that if you wanted this card, it's $15. It's probably the cheapest that you're gonna get it. When it comes to Maid mode and the alternate art, I think it's still pretty cracked, but it has gone down a lot more. So while it's down, it might be better to get the price. At one point it was $36. I think it'll go down some more with BT12, so you could wait a little bit. If you're wanting to sell this card, I would say sell it now, because EX4, we don't know how good the Sakuyamon support is going to be. And that is all for our market watch. Guys, thank you so much for listening and checking out this video. I'll be back with more soon. Bye guys!